you talked about the Raiders and what they do next. And what I shared with Suzy before you joined us was when you let him go, you had best ask yourself the question, and do what? And if the Raiders don't have an answer that's as good or better than the status quo, and this doesn't go just for the Raiders, but every team, the Patriots, any team letting a head coach go, and do what? Ask yourself that question and answer it. And if the answer's not as good or better than what you have, then what are you doing?
Here's why I think that that's not a concern that they have. Because I think that the city of Las Vegas and Raider Nation is excited and intrigued to find out what kind of impact is Tom Brady going to have. There is nothing about him that gives you the impression that he's just somebody that's in it for the money. He's a 7-time Super Bowl champion. He signed a contract to do color commentary for Fox Sports on Sundays a couple of years ago. It was 10 years. It was $375 million. And he still waited to get in some practice sessions and to master the art of what he was doing before he went and decided to do it full time. And that Tom Brady is now in a position as a part owner where he'll be a voice in the room, and he gets an opportunity to evaluate talent. Well, when everything else he's done has been that of a winner.
Yep.
Why would anybody else have say over him when it comes to picking personnel or picking who the next head coach should be? I got to be honest with you. If I'm Mark Davis, I let Tom Brady make the call. I know that might not be in him because he is the son of Al Davis, God rest his soul. But I will tell you, I'd strongly consider deferring to Tom Brady to make the decision about who that next dude is going to be. Because whoever that person is going to be, you're going to support it until there's evidence to contradict your support, just because it's Tom Brady. And that is the kind of thing that I believe the Raiders need right now, because they haven't given you much reason to place your faith in their decision-making as it pertains to a head coach, as it pertains to a quarterback, as it pertains who they elect to let go and where they allow them to depart to. All of these things have been a huge question mark. Josh Jacobs is in New England performing. Okay, Devontae Adams didn't have, what he was supposed to have or whatever. DeAndre Hopkins, I'm sorry, Devontae Adams. But I'm just saying, when you look at Tom Brady, you talk about people that's going to sit back and take a let's-see attitude and give you the benefit of the doubt. I don't know anybody on this planet pertaining to football that would have that luxury at their disposal more so than Tom Brady.
Well, I won't belabor the issue because I shared this with Suzy at some length when we started. I absolutely, positively believe they will, and they should take input from Tom, but I also think they should take input from Richard Seymour, who also owns a piece of this team now. So I would listen to Tom, I would listen to Richard, take their input, and go with it from there.
I think it's insane to think, what's that, Stephen?
I agree with you about Richard Seymour, who, by the way, we're being totally honest, nearly blew his opportunity to be a part owner for the Raiders. I mean, you know that a lot better than me, but I'm telling the truth.
Yep.
He almost blew it. Thank goodness he didn't. Having said all of that, regardless of his credentials, there's only one Tom Brady. There's only one Tom Brady. There are voices, and then there are those whose decision-making you should rely upon, at least initially, until further notice.
I hear
that's what I was saying. I mean, it's all well and good, but if Mark Davis didn't want Tom Brady to sit in the driver's seat, he wouldn't have allowed him to buy in. That's the bottom line. Like, he needed him. He needed the face. He needed the voice. He needed someone to take charge. And at some point, Tom's just got to realize, you can't have both. He's always had it all, but, decide whether you want to win with this team and put your all into it, but you can't do everything.
What do you mean you can't do everything? I don't understand what you're saying.
I mean, I think that it's he wants to have the voice of who's going to be the coach. He wants to be able to steer the ship on this, but he's also calling games. It's so complicated. It would almost make
I think we can get over that. I think that when you've given as much to the game as Tom Brady, and we're talking about NFL that prints money, when you have somebody that's able to capitalize financially off of it in a way that no other broadcaster has been able to in history, I think you give him the opportunity to see what he can do before you poo-poo it. Certainly you keep your antennas up. You keep a watchful eye on it. You monitor it accordingly. But this is a 7-time champion that we're talking about. The greatest quarterback the history of the game has ever seen in the eyes of a lot of people, certainly the greatest resume, who has shown a propensity to be dedicated to his craft. And as a broadcaster, as somebody that's entrenched in sports every single day, that understands the responsibility that comes along with the job, I don't think somebody calling football games for 17 weeks a season is incapable of handling the responsibility of being able to look at a franchise and give you an educated voice to the proceedings.
No, I don't think he's
that's
incapable.
something that he can do it. He can do it, and I think he'll do it well.
I think he can do whatever he wants. He's kind of proved that. I'm just saying that there's no doubt in my mind that he didn't come in as a part owner to give his influence and to help make decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely so. He shouldn't. I mean, he should have a voice, and he should be unapologetic about it.
That's right.
He should be able to Tom Brady should be able to say, I don't think that's going to work. That ain't the way to go. He would know why, and he would be able to articulate why better than anybody in that room.
Check out new episodes of What the Football with Suzy Shuster and Amy Trask every Tuesday. Watch us on the Rich Eisen Show YouTube page or follow and listen wherever you get your podcasts.